Mixed martial arts fighting is insanely popular these days. And really, if you think about it, it's an excellent concept for a video game. And yet, so far, all the attempts of making a proper UFC game or MMA game in general have felt always like something's missing. They're almost there, but not quite.
Yeah.
This year, THQ and Yuke's are out with
the third game?
The third UFC Undisputed game. And they've talked a bunch about all the great new things they've been adding.
Yeah, they actually took a longer break from the series to fully develop the new game. Probably also because the sequel was kind of 1.5 game. That being said, though, I mean, you have definitely got to be a huge fan to notice the new things put into the new game. When not just noticing the menus and how everything has been more streamlined. It is a better game, but I guess we'll get into that.
But let's start with all the new stuff. What have they added this year to the UFC experience?
Well, actually, what impacted me the most was just the streamlining of the whole process. Because if there's one thing that Yuke's, the Japanese developer, has proven before, is that they just love menus. I mean, it was a problem with it's still a problem with the WWE games, and it was definitely a problem with the UFC games. And the whole way they've gone about it is a bit more streamlined, but it's still menu hell compared to some of the Western games that we see today, where you can more or less, mention a game like Forza, for instance, where you could go into a race by just pushing a button 2 times or something like that. Here you will constantly see loading and menus pop up, but it's actually better. More impactful, though, is the fighting system. Finally, they have added a chance to actually knock out or defeat an opponent with leg kicks and body kicks.
You couldn't do that before?
You couldn't do that before.
That seems like a really
with fighters like Pat Barry and Edson Barboza in the real world, where you actually see them go in and deliver like 3 or 4 leg kicks and the opponents just crumble. It was a strange thing to be missing from the previous games. It's not really as impactful as I would like it to be. Actually, I built a Pat Barry kind of fighter, focused on leg kicks, just trained the hell out of leg kicks just to see how it works. And yes, it is possible, but it's still not something you should go for.
They've done something with the submission system as well.
Yes, the submission system is kind of new in that, first and foremost, there's 2 ways to go about it now. You can still use the whole analog way of just moving around on the ground, and it is kind of precise still. It's still a really solid system that though requires you to really put some time into it. And there's also a new simpler way now where you can pass, guard and everything by just using simple motions on the analog stick. When you get caught in the submission or you're trying to get someone else in a submission, this whole little sub game comes up where you see this octagon and you have to align like 2 colors, and it's horrible. I mean, it's kind of just the strangest way to go with a system like this, because it's so gimmicky, and I mean it screws up the whole realism and timing of what you're trying to accomplish if you're actually a submission grappler.
They've also made some additions on the training front with camps and stuff like that.
Once again, you're able to go train at camps like AK or a couple of the most popular ones, Jackson's MMA and stuff like that. There are some weird admissions from the camps you're able to choose from. I mean, it's a small selection, and popular camps like Rufus Sport or Nuva Uniao isn't even featured in the game, which is strange. And also, when it comes to just making a balanced fighter, the way they have set up all the skills is almost impossible to make a GSP type fighter where you can be really good at ground fighting, standing and everything else. You end up with characters that are way specialized in either stand-up submissions or every other facet of the game, and that's kind of strange and bad, actually.
Is this a good MMA game?
It is a decent MMA game. Yuke's once again is trying a whole lot of different stuff, and what I would like to see from them is just focusing on getting the stuff they already have working. like I mentioned before, I love the addition of leg kicks as a means to win a fight. But when you get a fighter that you have trained to do it, and he still has to deliver like 20 or 30 leg kicks just to make a dent, and he on the other hand can just go for, you know, hooks and head kicks and KO a fighter in like 30 seconds or so, it is kind of an unbalanced system, and it's a system that's been troublesome from the very first game, and I can't see why they can't fix it. That being said, it is the best game on the market if you are into MMA. Just by the pure fact that they got submission, they got stand-up, and they got, of course, the whole license, which just makes it cool. The presentation is way better this time. So it's a decent game, but it's still a game that's really, really lacking all of, or most of the aspects that you would probably love if you're really into the sport and you watch every pay-per-view and stuff like that.
So die-hard fans only, pretty much.
Yes, and mostly die-hard fans, because they are the ones, you know, who can just see past the many faults and enjoy the game.